And now let's go to our top story for you as the family of missing University of Pittsburgh student Sudiksha Konanki is asking that she be declared dead. A judge has ordered the release of the man believed to be the last person to see her alive. Take a look at this scene. This is Tuesday. Joshua Riibe appeared in a Dominican courtroom where the judge ruled that the 22-year-old has cooperated with authorities in everything that has been asked of him, while adding that he is a witness and he cannot be detained. Sudiksha's parents also spoke to the media on Tuesday near their Virginia home. In a tearful statement obtained by WKYC, the missing 20-year-old's father tries to accept his daughter may never return home.
It is with deep sadness and heavy. No. And heavy heart that we are coming to the terms with the fact that our daughter has died. This is incredibly difficult for us to process. We kindly ask you to keep our daughter in your prayers.
So what's next in the search for Sudiksha Konanki? Everyone's hearts are breaking for her parents. Where do they go from here? Does it stop? Let's bring in our guests. I'm so pleased to have with me private investigator and military veteran, also a veteran from the NYPD, Manuel Gomez, who's been following the case from the outset and has been in touch with Sudiksha's parents, and criminal defense and civil rights attorney, Kesia Early. Good morning to you both. Manuel, let me begin with you. Is it over?
Unfortunately, I would say it is, because the family is almost exonerated. Rebe. They have said that now they believe that he didn't kill the girl. Okay, and there's a couple of things here that we need to take very special attention to that nobody really has. One, he showed no remorse in this whole case. There is no new statement of him saying, I hope she's safe. What can I do to help her? Anything. This guy has the same look on his face like Casey Anthony, who killed her daughter. Okay, there is no doubt in my mind, all right, that this guy is guilty. Okay, this guy has changed his story 4 times. And one of the things that he did was, as a lifeguard, he said he dragged her from under the arm and then pulled her to shore and then rescued her. Then he goes back to his room, but he doesn't tell any of his roommates, hey, I just saved the girl's life. He told nobody. He's 20 years old. You just had a traumatic event like that and you told nobody? Come on. And the technique that he described was improper. The proper way to save somebody drowning like that, if you're a lifeguard, and I know the technique, is you would put both arms up underneath them, and then you would roll back and then have the person's head facing up so that they were not taking in water. The technique he described was totally improper. These are some of the discrepancies that the investigators in this case have dropped the ball on. And now the fact that the family has said, hey, we don't believe he did it, you just gave this guy scot-free clearance to leave and come home like nothing happened.
Manuel, thank you so much for that. I want to read to you both a statement from Michael Chapman. He is the sheriff in Loudoun County, Virginia, where Sudiksha is originally from and where her parents still live. And he said, quote, Sudiksha's family has expressed their belief that she drowned. While a final decision to make such a declaration rests with authorities in the Dominican Republic, we will support the Konanki family in every way possible. And I'm going to show you both a look at what's been going on since March the 6th when she disappeared. There's been a search of the beach area, a search of the surrounding area using drones, helicopters, divers, boats, police dogs. More than 300 different agents have been on the ground looking for Sudiksha Konanki, and the FBI has been assisting. Kesia, let me go to you next, please, with how all of that effort didn't yield any answers, and it's so frustrating to everyone, is it not?
It is. And while I agree with my colleagues' analysis of the investigation and some of the statements or the inconsistent statements that Mr. Riibe made, from a defense perspective, they really don't have anything else, right? They have a story without motive, but they also have the fact that he was intoxicated. So maybe he was not in the right state of mind to not only utilize his skills and training as a lifeguard, but also be in the right capacity to remember what even happened, because he also stated that he passed out. Although that may seem like a convenient excuse, I do believe that the family, they need healing and closure. And because they don't have any additional evidence to suspect that he was involved, I think that this is their journey to healing, because they, in essence, accepted the fact that she drowned as opposed to him having involvement. And that's usually rare with families of the victims. They want to hold someone accountable. And so early in this stage, you would think that they would hold out on their statement until the investigation is truly complete or an official statement is made. But it appears that not only did they hug him and embrace him and thanked him for saving her life the first time, apparently after he saved her life, she then wandered away and drowned again, which is his story. I just think that the family wants healing and closure and accepted the fact that she could have possibly drowned and, gone with the sea.
Right, Casey. Joshua Riibe, I'm seeing reports that his passport is unaccounted for, that apparently, it was seized and missing and nobody seems to know where it is. So he may not be going anywhere anytime soon, depending upon what happens. Manuel, tell me, do you think it could be that investigators are on to someone else and they're just not letting the public know right now?
In the Dominican Republic, I would say that would be a correct assessment. Again, this is not America. They're going to put things aside and say, yeah, by chance, we can't find it right now. And that's another delay tactic they would do. I wouldn't be shocked if they keep him there another 3 weeks looking for the passport to stall to get time to continue this investigation. Again, this is too premature to say that she's dead. Julie, it's not even a month of an investigation. Even in America, a normal homicide would take at least 2 months. Okay, this girl and this family, and I've spoken to the family, Julie, and the reason why they're doing this is two reasons. One, their culture, they don't want all this attention. And two, this is a simple family. They're not that educated, and they believe what's being told to them rather than letting investigators do their job. And that's the sadness in this case.
Yeah, it sure is. Great insight, Manuel. I'm seeing NBC News reporting that the National Police did not confirm or deny that Ribe's passport was confiscated or that he had been unable to leave the hotel. So, it's kind of like, where is it? Officials, you either have that passport or you don't. You've moved on to another suspect or you haven't. Who knows? They never went so far as to declare him a suspect, but it raises an important conversation, Casey. They called him a person of interest. His face was plastered everywhere. We all recognize him. We all know his name. We've been talking about him for days. What does that do for him when he does go back to the United States? Can he ever get the cloud of suspicion off of him?
Julie, this has been a cry as a criminal defense attorney for years. I've tried many cases from misdemeanor to murder, but the murder cases are the ones that really make the headlines. And when my client is exonerated or when my client is vindicated by the jury and he's declared not guilty by the verdict, then you have to deal with the expungement process. And then after the expungement process, there is no law set in place where the media outlets can go back and either redact or come up with what is proper in this case. And that is the struggles that the defendants deal with. Even though they're innocent until proven guilty, sometimes it's like a word and not action coupled by it. So will he have a normal life? It's going to take a long time because he has to deal with everything that's on the internet. When you Google his name, that's always going to come up, and it could possibly affect future employment, even his schooling, because he may be ostracized. People will have their own opinions. You know how the court of public opinion works. All speculation, no facts. So it's going to be a difficult journey for a while until the laws are changed where the internet can be somehow scrubbed of the improper information. And that it's nearly impossible.
Right. I'm so glad we're having this conversation, Casey, because it is important to note that Look, he hasn't been charged with anything. There's been no evidence that's been put forward that he did anything to this young lady. We just know that he was with her and captured on film being with her. So everyone will draw whatever conclusions they may. We're not done talking about this story. We're going to continue following it every day as we get new developments.